G'day fellas and welcome to another Age of Empires 4 video. This is definitely not a custard game. Spawning in on the southwest side of the map, we've got Corp, who is playing as the Rus. On the opposite side of the map, playing as the Red Mongols, it is Salami. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've got another very special treat for you today. Once again, we are seeing more maps from Age of Empires 2 being imported into Age of Empires 4, because as you guys know, those maps are tried, they are tested, and we have got 4 lakes for you today. 4 lakes is named after the 4 lakes that appear in each corner of the map, and you can see these are quite some juicy lakes. They've got plenty of fish in them, and every single one of them looks pretty even, I'll be honest with you. I mean, we got 7 fish spawns up here, 6 over here, 5 over here, so maybe not completely even, and then 4 there, 8 down here. So you got 8 over here, 5 there, 7, and not completely even, but it's still pretty decent. Like, you would be happy either way. Now, let's talk a little bit about why this is such an amazing map, because this is something I've been harping on a lot recently. But before we do that, I want to throw a big shout out over to Lidicor, because Lidicor is the one who put this show match together. So I'll leave a link in the description to Lidicor's channel. Make sure you go check him out. Make sure you go say g'day. Leave him a subscribe if you do like what he does. But ladies and gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about why this map and why I'm so excited for it. Typically, in Age of Empires 4, the only maps that include water are maps that include water in the middle of the map. That means that you are fighting on the water. You're fighting over the water. You have to participate in the water. If you do not, you will die. Very, very painful deaths. Whereas this map, it puts water to the edge. And it says, hey, if you don't want to take water, you don't have to. It would be advisable, and I encourage you to, but even if you don't, even if you want to play completely on land and try and attack your enemy, you can do it. You can do it 100%. And that's what I love about this map, because it is a straight walk to the enemy's base. You can see the Mongol town center spawns across from the Rus town center, and that's what really makes this map beautiful. This is something that we're finally starting to see a bit more, because there's not a single map where you don't have water in the middle when it's a hybrid map. At the moment in the current map pool, and that really makes the games very stale very quickly. So great changes, and it's beautiful to see this this map pack coming through. Interestingly, we do see the deer spawn all down towards the south over here. There's actually 3 deer spawns, so 2 for the Rus player that have spawned quite close, 1 over here, which is for the Mongol's second one. So obviously not mirrored in that regard, so you would normally expect it to be mirrored, but yeah, just being applied towards that individual player. We've got the Mongol Khan doing a little bit of a Michael Jackson there. He manages to take out a couple of the sheep from his opponent. Going to be able to get both of those ones, and Corp goes back to the base empty-handed. Now, speaking of Corp, let's check and see what he's sitting on at the moment. He's on 295 bounty. He's going to be ultra happy with that. That is very nice from him. And we can actually see some of the changes for the Rus coming through, ladies and gentlemen. This is the brand new Rus changes that are finally coming through. So they're a little bit slower on the water, but have a little bit more powerful boats. So you take a look here and you see that the Lodger fishing boat actually collects its fish very, very fast, but it takes a little bit longer to come out now. So you can see that it takes 38 seconds to come out. It also takes 2 population, and it's very expensive, 150 wood. But this is a great way to balance out the Lodger attack ship, because it means when you get up to the Feudal Age, you're not going to have 4 fishing boats ready to transform. You've only got 2, and it's a big investment. And you can see that, you know, the price has been significantly reduced with regard to the attack ship. So you only have to pay, it looks like 85. But it's actually just much cheaper for you to just make attack ships. So that's very interesting how they've done that. So basically it says you can make Lodger attack ships at a discounted rate, or you can transform them from fishing boats, but it's going to cost you if you want to do it. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's very, very interesting. But you can see that one of the things to note, and this is something that I sort of brought up in the discussion about the new patch in the pup, is that with the, like, typically most civilizations just going to have 1 dock, right? You're just going to start out with a single dock. And as a result, it means that you're making your fishing boats at a set amount, right? So we've got 1 fishing boat here. It takes 25 seconds. Now, over on the other side, the fishing boat, it takes 38 seconds. Now, double 25 seconds is 50. So there's like 12 seconds that you're missing off the top of that. Now, these these fishing boats cost twice as much. Okay, it's important to note that. They cost twice as much, but the fishing boats only take half as much time, or they would only take 50% on top of what they normally would which means that there's a really good window for the Rus player to just be spamming out and getting a much better economy than his enemy. So if we take a look at the income per minute, you can already see that like being translated over. Corp with the equivalent right now of 8 fishing boats out here, compared over to his enemy, who is sitting right now on 7. And that is where the key difference is, because you are able to get ahead of your enemy in that regard. Now, I think that it's nice to have this asymmetry, but at the same time, I think it's something that you've got to be careful of. But I think it's very, very minor. Probably going to hurt the Rus a little bit more, if anything. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Corp now reaching the second age, going to be dropping down his golden age to get up there. And you can see it looks like he's quite intent on going for a fast castle, though that's a pretty standard macro for most Rus players. You'd probably expect to see a wooden fortress thrown down right here. He's got the wood lines pretty close to him as well. And look at all the backup wood that he's got behind here as well. So he's going to be very happy with that. We'll take a look on the other side of the map. And it looks like we've got ourselves a little bit of an offensive dock coming down. Now, Salami might get spotted out here. You can see that Corp probably going to be able to spot that. By the same token, you can see up towards the north, it looks like Village is actually doing very cheeky. And do they keep their gold? I don't think they kept their gold. They do keep their gold. Does spot the dock. So immediately on reaction to this, should be training a Logia attack ship. He is, so he's doing the right thing. But he needs to be aware that his enemy... Ooh. That was a lot of fish. He needs to be aware that his enemy is now on the dock, and now we can see that Corp is going for a dock in the north. And so this is really where the fun comes in on this map, because you're not fighting over one body of water. You're fighting over 4 bodies of water. So even if you lose one body of water to your enemy, well, you can go and expand up to the north. You can go expand down to the south. And you want to know the best part about this map? Is that even if you were to lose the battles on all of these ponds of water, at the end of the day, the game's still not over, because you can actually go to your enemy's base. You don't have a fucking river through the middle of the map with a crossing that is guarded by fire ships and Bauschwans or Zebeks or Hulks. You literally have nothing in the middle of the map. You don't have a fucking giant river that looks like a penis. Or it's not even a river, it's a fucking pond that looks like a penis that prevents you from even going around towards your enemy's base. Like, there's nothing in the middle of this map to stop you from doing it. It puts water still of a strategic importance, but the militaristic importance is significantly reduced, and that's exactly where it should be. You should not lose a game simply because you lost water. You shouldn't be able to attack your enemy's base simply because they have control of the water. That's not how it should work, and that is why I'm so happy to see these maps being made by players, because they're making good maps. These are actually good fucking maps. So big shout out to the map makers, everybody down there, everybody out there who is developing these new maps or putting these new maps in. Big shout outs to you guys, because I tell you what, look, don't get me wrong. I think AoE 4, it's a good game, but it's got a long way to come. And the big thing for me, it's really just going to be making sure the maps are good. And with you guys out there making and importing maps like this into Age of Empires 4, it's just going to make for even better gameplay. Looks like we've got ourselves a little bit of a high trade house coming down. Oh, this one's going to be a good one. I can tell you that already. This is going to be a very nice high trade house. I don't think you could have gone here. Yeah, I don't think you can go there. But, yeah, we'll take a look now at Salami. We'll see what he's up to. Interestingly, not going for the Abbey of the Trinity. So, obviously, there's 5 relics on this map. You can see they've spawned, like, relatively even. Like, they're all towards the middle. Like, this one's towards the middle. Even though this one's a little bit, like, towards the Salami as the red player. Just remember, like, his initial starting spawn was, like, right here. And then he's moved the TC up there. So, it looks like he's closer. And when in reality, the map has spawned in a way that probably would have just made it, like, you've got one safe one. Both players have one safe, and then all 3 relics are in the center. Salami now reaching that 3rd age, going up with a step redoubt. You can see all these villagers there tapping away at the gold. Market going to be coming down for Salami. Very interesting. A lot of villagers on this gold, so might be looking to add in a 2nd town center with all those villagers on gold. We'll see how he looks to trade it, though. But he's going to be going for a war junk, so looking to get his war junk out here on the map, so really paying attention. And you can see that he's added in outposts here just to keep an eye on this position, and such a smart move from Salami to do this. Just a single outpost prevents any kind of, you know, invasion from coming in. Interesting to note, though, that, like, over on this side, you're very well protected. well, you're not very well protected, but over here, there's literally a fucking forest and a cliff face that protect your enemy from coming in. So maybe that would be one thing I would say to like the map generators or the scripts is if you can possibly try and clean up this edge here and make it so everyone's edge can be invaded. I think that's so important to be able to like drop a secret dock down on the edge. Everyone should be able to do that on every single pond. At least that's the way I think about it. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. War junk now coming out, and this guy is not junk when it comes to the water. You can see him like locked on, but not firing off any shot there. Now he's finally going to be looking to fire his shots, and attack ship's going to be forced to come back here. And just keep in mind, right, this is what I was talking about. Like, even if you lose this water, well, you're still investing up here. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, there's not a single body of water. If you lose it, it's over. It's good game. There's 4 bodies of water. If you lose it, well, you just move over onto the next one. Sure, it's a loss. Sure, you wouldn't have wanted to lose it. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's not terrible to lose it. So, you know, well played. High Trade House now coming through as well. And 146 gold a minute going to be coming through for Corp. You'll be very happy with that. Dropping down archery ranges and barracks. I'm probably going to be heading into the classic men-at-arm crossbow composition, which has become very popular in the current patch. And it is a great starting point for most civilizations. You're going to be able to effectively counter your unarmored units with the men-at-arms and your armored units with the crossbows. So very, very nice composition there by Corp. Obviously, you've got to be careful of making too many crossbows. If you do start to get up towards that like 10, 12 mark with the crossbows, then people probably going to start looking to get mangonels out and potentially try and snipe out a couple of your bows when you're not looking. But now we can see double war junk coming out. Going to be very hard. A little bit of a graphical error still happening. This even does happen in the main game. But you can already see, like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm already loving what we're seeing out from these players. You know, Salami's got a very safe pond back here, but you can see he's got double dock down. He's actually, like, fully investing, going for, like, drift nets, like a freaking madman. So he's going absolutely ham on this pond. At the same time, expanding down here, fish booming over here, and at the same time, attacking on this pond. There's still this pond up to the north, which he hasn't even thought about. And look, that's where Corp is. So it's like, this is what the game is about, man. I just love it. It's so smart. And the best part is, it's all because of this recent update. Can you imagine? Right, like, don't get me wrong. Hey, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. Or I don't want to like sound like a spoiled brat. But I wish we had this at release. Could you imagine how many people would have stuck around and played this game if at release we had this? Because this is fun. I don't know about you guys. I enjoy this kind of stuff. I enjoy this kind of map or this kind of, you know, content that's coming out from so many players. So, it's tough, man. It's tough. But looks like he's going to be able to clean up down here. You can see a war junk going to be coming out in 8 seconds. Gets actually cleaned up before he's able to come down. Subsequently brings the dock down. He knows that there's fishing boats out here, and he wants to just try and take control. So I just realized, could you go lodge your attack ship? Oh, actually, no. No, it's more actually. Never mind. Never mind. Actually, how much is a trade ship? Dude, can you go transport ship and transform it into an attack ship? A fishing ship? I want to know, dude. Can you actually... Yo, we need to test that. We 100% need to test that. You just make transport ships and then you transform them into fishing boats. We got to try that. Oh, we're going to try that 100%. We got to know. I want to know, my lovely. I think that's the song. I know it's like, where do you go, my lovely? But then like, then they come back and they're like, I want to know. But, look at that Khan. Oh, that's a Mangadai. I was going to say, look at that Khan. Is that reskinned, that Khan? And speaking of reskin, are we going to get some reskins in? Actually, I saw an Age of Noob video. He was talking about the reskins. I gotta go check that stuff out. I want to see if there's a reskin. Looks like one of the Lancers gets taken out. And this is why this composition coming out right now from Corp is such a deadly composition. So crossbows and men-at-arms. So typically, your enemy is going to be, once they get to the castle age, making armored units. So you come out with the crossbows and you're like, yo, what's up, bro? And obviously, your crossbows are doing a lot of damage. So we'll look to see how Salami does respond to this. There you go. It's a mangonel, as I mentioned earlier. Now, look how defensive he's being with this mangonel. So often you'd see a player like just making the mangonel right here and be like, bring it on, brother. But Salami obviously not going to do that. He's respecting the fact that it takes longer to build the mangonel. And you can see it actually does take a decent amount of time now. So that's not a bad change. And now at the same time, Corp has his men-at-arms on the front. Looks like a bit of an engagement. Might potentially go off here. You see the mangonel shot coming through. He's going to miss all those men-at-arms, but he knows now that there are mangonels on the field. Crossbows running a bit of a screen right there. The men-at-arms doing a great job. Crossbows sitting on the back line. This is perfect, but the mangonel, we see it unfolding. It lands on the front. You can see he's got the men-at-arms coming in. Needs to be focusing down the crossbows. Bring villagers out towards this mangonel if possible. Crossbows, crossbows, crossbows. Doesn't take a lot of damage. No villagers in sight either. So even if you wanted to, I mean, ideally, probably should have been bringing 4 or 5 villagers out towards that position. But now you can see Corp continuing to just rampage over his opponent. Such a difficult composition to deal with. This crossbow and men-at-arms timing push. And this is part of the reason why Abbasid Dynasty are a strong civilization, even though we don't see them in this game. But they have a really good crossbow men-at-arms timing push. And now we continue to see Corp just rampaging through with his crossbows. It's all he's got left at this point. But you got to just appreciate how strong he is as he's destroying his enemy. And now looking to focus down the ranged units on the back line. And, yeah, we can see that look at the reinforcements coming in from Corp. Corp looking very good. Keep in mind, Salami ahead when it comes to score. But I don't know how much it's going to matter. I don't know how much it is going to matter because at this point in time, Corp's military just continuing to overwhelm. Got the blacksmith out. No upgrades. It's a bit hard. I'll be honest, it's a bit hard for me to keep track of the global queue. I'll be honest, I don't know if I like it in this position here. I mean, it's good, but I think as soon as you start clicking on shit, like... Hold on. Oh, it appears down here. Okay, all right. It's not terrible. Not terrible. I can get behind it. Another mangonel coming out. Ideally, I'd love to see a battering ram starting to come out for Corp at this point. Battering ram's really going to help out push into these buildings underneath the town center as well. We'll check in with Corp and see how he's doing. You can never mind. He's literally getting siege engineering. So that's exactly what he wants to do. So a battering ram in this situation is definitely going to help him out a huge amount because it's going to tank the fire from the town center and also going to be putting out a lot of damage and gives you line of sight on your enemy's army as well. So lets you see a little bit more. But you got to be careful. Now we see that siege engineering come through. Do we see a battering ram drop down immediately? He's got a lot of resources in the bank. Corp needs to be definitely doing something with that. Now, indeed, we do see double battering ram going to get dropped down here. He's got to be careful, though, because there's always the time. There's always a nice little window here. If you spot your enemy making a battering ram like that, don't be afraid to push up on them. Force them into a choice. Do I fight or do I make this battering ram? So that's always an option. Now, obviously, that only really matters if you've got a similar army. If you've got a much smaller army, probably not a good idea. Units going idle now. Also going to be getting out some knights. Interesting. Heading into knights. Got a lot of stables here, so really focusing on that. We see him going to horsemen. I think that's a wise decision. Mixing in horsemen here is going to be really strong because your enemy is typically going to be making crossbows or archers. Now we start to see that knight mass building, the archery, or the barracks moving back. Blacksmith probably going to be doing the same thing. Is that the second blacksmith? Indeed it is. Battering ram's got to be careful here. It looks like mangonels on the back line are going to be slowly but steadily moving in. We see an armor arrow coming off. He's got the prelate, or rather the shaman, coming in from the north side here. Got to be careful. It does go down. Look at the damage that comes out on the crossbows. It's only 5 crossbows that actually get damaged. He's doing a decent job of coming around. A lot of men-at-arms in here, and mangonel now going to be coming out for Corp on the other side. Corp's got to turn around here. You can see his units walking away. This is because he's drag boxing. Going to be losing his mangonel here if he's not careful, and it looks like he's not being careful. Fires back on the Khan, manages to take out some damage, and now we see a bit of a raid over towards the left. No, it's an outpost towards the left. Battering ram going to be coming in for that one as well. Mangonel's still doing a great job on the back line. Doesn't look like Yam Network is in at the moment on these units, so needs to be a bit careful about coming out too far. Ideally wants to keep them on the creep, quote unquote, but now slowly but steadily working towards it. You can see those shots coming in and so much damage. This is why it's important to hit that 3 mangonel combo. Once you've got the 3rd mangonel out, it means that you don't let your enemy units get away with 8 health. It never happens because they one-shot them completely. But now we see the outpost coming up, hiding in the fog of war. He's got great coverage in the center here. Unfortunately, doesn't have coverage in his base where it actually matters. So really going to be a difficult spot. Now, I'm pretty sure the Yam only gets generated by outposts. Yeah, it's only near the outposts and the deer stones itself. So unless you're within that radius, so ideally you needed to bring up his deer stones a little bit closer to the front here. But Salami is pulling ahead in score, but at the same time, it definitely feels like he's behind. We'll do a quick stock take. 115, so 72-43 versus 90-37. The score is good for Salami, and he did win on water. He still never took these out. Oh, this is so cheeky. Because I think he's actually sitting in here, so you would have to like go to point blank range to find them. Oh, that's so good. Corp definitely very happy. Look at the food coming in right now for Corp. And this is the consequence of just booming on water and why it's so important to just be active about shutting your enemy down. You got to take control of those ponds. And now we finally see a war junk coming out towards this north pond. It's going to take some time to get through these, but he's going to look to grab control of this. Once again, he's going to be able to head up into this position if he wants to. the fishing boats are going to be able to fall back, but at the same time, he's still got this pond down to the south. And this is part of the reason why this map is just absolutely amazing, because it creates this flexibility. And look, even though down towards this position, Corp has lost control of this pond, it's irrelevant in the scheme of things. Because even if, you know, if Salami maintains control here, sure, it's great. But at the end of the day, it literally means nothing. It literally means nothing. Like, sure, okay, I can't gather from fish here. That is it. That is the extent of my concerns. But speaking of concerns, Salami now heading up towards the north here, about to say, how's your father going up here? Looks like he's got to be careful, though. You can see he's got plenty of armor on that bad boy. How much attack is coming out? 8. So it looks like 3 damage a pop here. Second war junk going to be coming out as well, so he'll be looking to focus down these units. I think he's going to be absolutely A-okay up here. But obviously denies out a lot of income there from his enemy. But keep in mind, Salami down on food at the moment, whereas his opponent sat on, I think it was like 4K? 4K food, and now manages to get up to the next stage. High armory going to be coming in. Not the best spot. I mean, it covers this siege workshop here, so not terrible. But the walls now starting to come up for Corp, and he's looking very good. I got to say, I love these walls. Very defensive, prevent any kind of raid from coming through, prevent any kind of threat on that south pond. And I suspect he's going to be training a lot of fishing boats coming in onto this, so he's going to be feeling very good about himself. Boyer's Fortitude also coming in. Look at the stable switch coming out right now from Corp. Oh my lord, that is a lot of stables. So whether he looks to go into horsemen, I'm not sure exactly what he's going to be doing, but there's obviously going to be a lot of units coming out. Slowly but steadily, that high armory is coming up. I would suspect he even looks to go into elite horsemen. I really wouldn't be surprised. In late game situations, horsemen seem to be incredible, especially against civilizations that can't wall, aka the Mongols. So really, really smart move. But now heading up towards the north, I suspect he might be looking to try and do a bit of damage up towards this dock. We'll see exactly how he does it. You can see he's really trying to clean up, going to start sieging down this first outpost, and now reaches the Imperial Age. So we have got our Rus player entering their late game. This is part of where they really come in, where they peak in the late game. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we are heading into the strength of the Rus. But prayer tent going to be coming out. It looks like the shaman just going to be sitting idly by. Dock going to be going down, and look how much damage comes out for these guys. They do a lot of damage, 20 torch damage. When it comes to upgrades, you can see that, oh my god, isn't it so good to actually be able to see the upgrades that are coming through? We've got +2, we've got the second, we've got lumber preservation, roller shutter triggers, you've got veteran spearmen coming through, sorry, hardened spearmen coming through. Wololol up towards the north, he's got to be careful here. Salami looking to capture up a lot of army from Corp. Doesn't get any of them, so only picks up that first relic. Still got a second relic that he's going to be able to grab, but at the same time, is Salami actually going to win this? There's no way Salami actually wins this. Oh my god, is he doing this? Despite being so far behind and the mangonels coming in. Oh my god, Salami's actually doing it. I wasn't paying attention. What the hell happened? How did he do it? It was so far ahead. Corp, and all of a sudden he's thrown everything away. At the same time, it looks like he's heading towards the base of his enemy, and now villagers beginning to run, but you can see it's all gone to shit right now for Corp. Just as he entered into this phase of the game where he was so damn happy, all of a sudden he's thrown it all away. The men-at-arms and crossbow combo comes out with the mangonels on the backline. The springlords are here to prevent any kind of siege from coming out. You can see that when it comes to the production queue, there's a lot of units in here, but all of a sudden, how does he turn these games around? I just got no clue. 89 military pop, 160 military. What? Oh my god, where does it come from? How does he do this? I'm speechless right now. How does he do this? He was so far ahead of his enemy, and all of a sudden Salami manages to come back. This is absolutely ludicrous, and look at the just amount of units that are here for Salami, and there's such high quality units. Men-at-arms on the front line, at the same time crossbows towards the middle. We've got the lancers on the back line that are just sieging down these stables, because that's, you know, that's all they need to do at this point in time, working towards the high armory. And now it's time for me, ladies and gentlemen, to eat my shoe once again, because I didn't pick this up. I genuinely didn't pick this up. I 100% thought that Corp was going to win this game, and now all of a sudden we've got Salami that just manages to take the cake from Corp's toes. I don't know where that came from. Manages to take the cake, and I mean, that's going to be it. That is going to be your game. I don't know how he does it. I honestly don't. Like, we did a sit rep not too long ago, and it was 100% Salami going to be losing. And just once again, I'm amazed by this guy. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that has been your beautiful new map that has been generated. So shout out to the developer of that map. Shout out to Liticor. It's been absolutely pleasure casting this game. Make sure you go check him out. I'll leave a link in the description. Catch you guys later.